Hey guys, you want to hear something crazy? Lawbringer can counter Warlord. Well, not really, but he does have something that he can use against Warlord to make it a more even kind of fight. And compared to Conqueror, which is absolutely out of the question, there's nothing you can do. Warlord, there actually is something you can do, and it's actually kind of funny. Um, it's really weird. It's a frustrating battle whenever you're fighting Warlord as Lawbringer, of course. But the way you fight Warlord with this new ability, you'll be more aggressive towards a Warlord. Kind of. Here, let me show you what I mean. So if I go to the... so let's say you're fighting a Warlord, and you're going face to face, and you're both at neutral. Usually what a Lawbringer would do is you would heavy feint a bunch, you would probably try to get into top light or something, maybe even for the rep 20s and belows, you probably do something like this, you know, something interesting like that. But what I'm here to tell you guys today, that the way to counter a Warlord is to spam the ability that no one thinks to spam as Lawbringer anymore since they think it's not viable. Correction, it actually is, against a Warlord. Observe, if you were to spam your shove constantly towards a Warlord, all a Warlord can do, similar to other characters that don't have a dodge attack to the left or right, they won't be able to do anything. They will just have to be forced to dodge your shove constantly over and over and over again. Let me give you an example. So if I go to the opponent's movesets and I make him constantly dodge my attacks, this is what a Warlord can do. All he can do is he can dodge my attacks like this. After he dodges, there are three things a Warlord will do. He will either A, dodge forward and headbutt to counter you. B, he will do a light or heavy attack. Or C, he will try to zone attack you. Or GB. There's 3 to 4 things. I messed up. It's actually 4 things. But most of the time it's 3 things. They don't really zone attack. GB, headbutt, or light and heavy attack. 3 things. Now, the 2 main things that they like to do is light attack and GB. And this is where the Lawbringer thrives, since those are both those are both aggressive attacks that you can either parry or do a light attack through. So let's say you do a dodge forward shove and then the Warlord dodges you. The next thing he will try to do is probably light attack, which you'll be in full recovery to be able to parry it. Once you parry it, of course, do a top heavy unblockable. Let's say the Warlord dodges and does a GB. Well, you can on reaction do a light attack to that, which initiates 15 damage to the Warlord. So, in a sense, Lawbringer's offensive shove is technically a Warlord headbutt if the Warlord tries to GB you afterwards, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. Now, there are other things that the Warlord will try to do. For example, he will try to maybe GB you right as you dodge, which is when you can either let it happen, or you can try to shove him out of it. If he tries to GB you by dodging, what you should do instead is throw a heavy, because most people who try to wait for timings like that, crazy timings, are so focused on the guard break indicator that any kind of indicator you throw out at them, they will press the GB button to counter, or to try to counter your dodge. So if you throw out a heavy or maybe even a light to be safe, if you want to be safe with the Lawbringer, throw out a light, then you can get in some extra damage possibly there. Now, this is where the Warlord will be able to counter you, just like how he can counter most characters, if he unlocks and bashes you. Now, if he unlocks and tries to shield crash you, what you can try to do is try to impale him. So if he's running towards you, you can try to impale him like that. The chances of hitting him are kind of low. It's all dependent on the player, but most of the time it won't really land. But it doesn't mean that he'll be parrying it, which means that you guys will be set back to square one. Key note, when you're fighting a Warlord as Lawbringer, do not go out of stamina no matter what. Just like all other characters going against Warlord, you don't want to go out of stamina. The Warlord will try really hard to headbutt you. Cool thing about the Warlord compared to the Conqueror when you're fighting him is that the Warlord can't dodge sideways and headbutt. where the Conqueror can dodge sideways and shield bash. Let's say the Highlander dodges forward and headbutts you, and then you dodge sideways and go for the shove. If by some miracle he gets recovery back, he won't be able to do anything except dodge it at the most. But then if he gets hit by your shove, then you can try to do a side heavy, you could try to do a light, or you can GB him if he tries to roll away from you. And there you go, guys. I just wanted to give you guys a quick short video on how to counter Warlord as Lawbringer. Of course, this doesn't really counter him. It's just some dumb thing that Warlord can't do anything about. And it all just comes down to harassing the Warlord with a useless ability that makes him do something that you will be able to react to as a Lawbringer. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys did learn something. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.